He's looking at me like a pit bull. Okay, he's planted. He's big, muscular. He's planted firm. He's not apologetic.
Nonsense.
How was your day today?
I got in a fight this morning.
Oh.
I'm talking 6 a.m., first thing in the morning. It was bananas.
What'd you get in a fight with?
A 225-pound beast.
Sounds like a big boy.
It was a pig.
Do explain.
We raise pigs on the property, and sometimes I have to interact with the pigs, right? So we got some new pigs a week or two ago, and the guy who delivered them, they were bad off. Like, they were sick. They had been out, they're white pigs, and they'd been out and left out in the sun without a cover. It's what it seems like. So, like, there's so many blisters and bloods. Like, it is just, like inhumane the way they were treated, right?
So these are pigs you're not supposed to keep outside, or?
Well, certain, like, white pigs, like, they're white. You're supposed to have, outside's fine, but, like, some sort of shade they can go to because they'll sunburn to death, Oh. And that's what they were on their way to doing.
Did not know that.
Typically, we would reject these pigs, but however, you reject them, then they go back to the conditions that caused all this and effectively slowly die, right? So went ahead and took them like, oh, we'll take care of it, da-da-da. So find out a couple days ago they have pneumonia.
Shit.
That gave us heavy-duty antibiotic shot, right? But the shot has to be given in the rump. And typically we're set up a little bit better, and we typically get a little smaller to where when we have to do things like that, lots of people will have a chute, and it's like a hallway they walk through, and then and it like closes around them. It doesn't hurt them, but it makes them to where they can't get away from you.
Turn around and stuff.
Yeah, they can't turn around in there. It's like a trailer hallway for a fat dude, But all we have is we have a place about a 4x4 fenced-in area that we can section them off in, so take them out of the big fenced-in area. And then we have a piece of fencing on hinges. So we run them into the corner, and then, the corner makes a right angle, and that fencing will be over here, and we push the fencing against them to where they can't go forward or back, and we give the shots, right? So pig number one, fine, right? Gave us a little bit of a fight, but, it's two of us. So we slam that gate again. I mean, pigs, it didn't hurt the pig, We slam the gate against them. We get the needle in them. Boom, done, right? So second pig's got some fight in him, okay? This freaking thing was over 200 pounds, and we should have done him first because by the time we got to him, he's looking at me like a pit bull, okay? He's planted. He's big, muscular. He's planted firm. He's, you know what I mean? He's ready to pounce, just that. And then they'll start rutting where they take their nose into the ground, and that means war. That's like, I'm telling you, buddy, don't fucking do it, right? And I'm like, I'm going to do it. And he's like, don't fucking do it. And I did it. So I'm trying to chase this pig into this little makeshift stall, and we just could not contain him. The fencing we're using to push against him, it has flex in it. It's steel, but it's like goat panels, and it flexes, So he would get his way out every time. So like the fourth time, we finally get him to stay, but he's trying to climb up the side. So I got him in a headlock over here, right? And he's trying to bite me and, punching me and whatnot. He goes to shoot the pig, and he puts the needle in, and the pig jumps, and the needle breaks off.
Oh, shit.
But the little fastener's still on it, so I was able to go yoink and pull it out, right? But he didn't get the medicine, so we're not done here. So we're in this 4x4 with this pig still, and we start scheming like, what the hell are we going to do? This isn't a good enough shoot. He's too big. We can't do this. There's other things called a slapstick where you can inject better. We just weren't set up at the time. We probably chased him into that corner 15 times and tried shutting him in for him to get out, panic, and we have 6 foot tall, the fencing, and he would run up it. And I would have to grab him by his neck, and no, you're not good. Because if he gets up and gets out, he's dead. We might as well pull out our pistols and shoot him before he gets too far away. It's a sad thing. We're trying to get him out of the inhumane treatment. That's why we do it. Like these pigs, where they're raised, is awful. It's a place like, Walmart or get their pork from, These pigs are going to die no matter what, but if they come over here, they at least get a good life. No growth hormones. They don't have any preservatives. We're not pumping them full of garbage. They get good, expensive food, places to run, have fun, do whatever they do, roll around in their slop, you know. So we're trying to give him that freedom, but he has to let us get him. But he's been abused, so he's ready to rock and roll because we're the enemy right now, you know. So I'm trying to feed the fucker apples and like get him on his side. And then my dad keeps telling me, if I was 20 years younger, I'd tackle him over. I'm like, well, then tell me what to do, right? Tell me how to tackle this thing. But I start overthinking it. I'm like, he's like, well, you just tackle it, hold it down. I'm like, dude, this pig is bigger than I am. And we came up with a step-by-step plan, okay? I'm going to go over, I'm going to grab the front and back leg, and I'm going to flip him, right? And then after that, we're both going to jump on him, and that's what's going to go down. So we're sitting here, and I'm overstepping it, and eventually he's like, here, let me show you. And he goes, I'm going to flip it, and you're going to jump on him. Okay. So he grabs a hold of the pig and he flips it over and I hop on. He's on his back now. The pig's on his back now, right? And I start straddling the pig, right? But the pig is getting up. You know, the pig is stronger than I am. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to hold his hands apart. And I'm like, no, pig. And then I look down and see I had the needle in my shirt pocket because it was the only place safe to put it. And it's gone now. Okay. Because me and this pig have already rolled a couple times. So now I kind of got him. But I can't get to the needle, and neither can he. So I'm over here trying to reach over here and get this needle like it's the pistol with one shot left in it at the end of an action movie, you know? And I can't get to it. So that's another failed attempt, right? So it's like the 18th failed attempt. Eventually, we're both worn out. The pig's worn out. This is starting to like get sad, right? And like sad for the pig. You know what I mean? He's panicking. He's already sick. We don't want him to get worked up where he just dies, right? So we're like, all right, we got one more shot. We're going to tackle him. We're going to get this needle in him, and this is going to be done. And we both just had that mind state we should have had from the beginning. We're like, all right. So he goes, all right, I'm going to grab one leg, and you grab the other. And there's no plan. We're just not stopping until we get him. I don't care if we're both hurt and cut and everything, right? Bear in mind, I was beat up by this point. My jaw's aching, my shins ripped apart, right? So I was like, all right. So he grabs the front leg, okay? And before I can grab the right leg, that thing starts taking off. But it can't run, but in circles, right? Because he has a hold of the front right leg, right? So it's running in circles, and it felt like it was like 2 seconds I sit there and thought, but it was probably a lot shorter than that, right? So I'm like, what do I do here? You know? So I grab the back leg, and I pull it towards me, okay? So he goes out like he just ran over a banana, you know? So I hop on top of his ass, and the plan was always for me to give the needle to him and him do the injection because I've never done it like that before. But he hops on the neck, and he's facing the other way, and I can remember my exact words. I said, I'm going for it. And I stab him in the ass, hit the plunger down, pull it out, and it was like victory after beating the final boss of a video game, right? It was, So after that, the pig's done. It's complete pandemonium, but it's like, okay, it's time for him to rest. We each pick like 20 persimmons. I don't think I've ever said that word before. It's like a sour apple. And give them to him, and we're like, you know, well done, pig. You know? And yeah, that was...
He fought with honor.
That was the first 4 hours. We were trying to like build like add-ons to this chute and trying to figure out, and he's like, the thing's running through... He's trying to run through the fence, the pig, and like almost getting his head wedged in it, and it was getting bad. And he's like, that's because the pig can see through it. We got to stop the pig from seeing through it. So we go get like 12 blankets and we build this whole thing so we can't see through anything. Yeah, it was bananas. And that's when I found out what a slap shot was. And we should have had them. They're this little thing. It's like, oh, hell, I don't know how this worked out. This is perfect. It's like a little ring, and you put it between your fingers, and your needle sticks through it. And I just found this out before you got here. And then there's a tube, a plastic tubing that's like 2 foot long. And on the other end of it is your syringe, okay? Just your plunger, like your needle's here. So you just go up and you put your hand on the plate and you go, and you smack it into him. And you're over here with the plunger. And even if he's running, like you have enough time to hit that plunger. And there's something about it that makes the needle not snap. And you can just yank the hose and it'll pull the syringe part out of him. I did not know about those, but we've also never had trouble. We just pile on top of them and like, listen here, bud, you know? But Charlotte's Web completely whooped me. I'm going to be walking bow-legged tomorrow. And I know if any, all the farmers who watch this show are going to be like, you freaking idiots. I've been jumping on pigs since 84. But once again, we're not talking about your mother.
Sure, we got a lot of farmers watching this. That's probably our biggest fan base.
Yeah. Between their time on Farmers Only. So how was your day?
A lot better than yours. I'm actually on a 7 days off stretch.
So you got fired?
No. That's just how the scheduling works out. Next week month I'll have to work 7 days on.
When you're doing the 7 on, you're 12 hours?
Yep.
7 on, 12 hours?
It's a shitty week.
How many hours is that?
A lot.
Okay. Now what would that be? 70
I know 4 days
plus
is
4. That's 94.
4 days is 48.
84 hours, isn't it?
Maybe.
Did I just look like an idiot?
Do some math.
12 times 7 is 14. Carry the 7. It's 84. Yeah. And that 84 hours in 1 week. So you get overtime then?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But do you...
Nice
wait. Because you have a week off, is 44 hours of that overtime?
I'm not
You know what
really
I'm
sure
saying? You
how
would
it
think
quite
they
works.
found some law to navigate that, or they wouldn't have scheduled it like that.
They kind of explained it to me. I didn't really understand it, but it does all like add out. Like none of my checks are like super short or anything like that.
Maybe they have a way to where you're in a 2-week pay period, so the overtime is technically 80 hours no matter when you get it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because why would they schedule you where they have to pay you time
Yeah,
and a half
because I know
for
like your
40
vacation
hours?
time. It's not like you get 2 weeks of vacation time. It's 80 hours. Because like my
Oh,
longest.
that's cheap. So they're like, your off time, you better be enjoying 12 hours a day of vacation because we're only technically giving you 5 work days or 7 work days for your vacation, 84 hours. That's what you mean?
Actually, yeah. But the longest I work besides the 7 days, which is only once every other month, is 4 days a week.
What do you even do?
I load trucks.
Oh, you're fork driving at the new place as well.
It's me and one other dude, but they've been teaching me, and I've pretty much got it down running a palletizer, which all that is running it is just when something goes wrong with it, you hit a button and go out there and fix it. It just runs cases down, puts them in a pattern, and layers it on a pallet, and sends it out and wraps it. And then
Really? So it's a part conveyor belt that sends them down and does the stacking?
There's a ton of conveyor belts.
Well, what kind of lift? Are you running a regular lift or are you doing the fucking bullshit standing lift?
Not regular.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
You got the fancy side shift and everything?
No, not on these ones. When I first started in the position I was, the ones where I started, the forks, you could just pull a lever to expand them and close
I've
them.
never used that. Like, I've been running forklifts since I was 10, and I've never used... We just got side shift at the shop 5 years ago.
Right.
I knew it existed, but it was like rich people stuff, right? But yeah, having side shift is a game changer. Being able to, like what you're saying... For anybody who doesn't do this sort of thing, you're constantly hopping on and off the lift depending on what you're picking up to spread or push in your forks. If you have what he's talking about, and side shift, I mean, if you're a good driver, you might not ever even get off the lift, right?
Yeah, the only reason I really get off of it is just to put tags on the pallet before I load it. And you got to scan it to the location.
So you're basically just picking up the loaded pallet and putting it in the truck, and then picking up a pallet, then putting it in the truck.
Yep.
Have you ever hit anything like with your mask or anything, like ran it into a garage door?
Actually, like the other day, I stopped. I was coming through a doorway, and someone was coming down the rack lane. I stopped and let them pass. And I stopped just in the right spot. This pole in front of me was in a blind spot from the mass, and I just took off forward and I had a pallet on the forks. And I just made a big old mess. I had to fill out an incident report and all that good stuff.
When I was real young, I'd driven lift plenty of times, but never the stand-up lifts, right? So I'm working at like furniture factory outlet.
They're a lot different.
And I'm trying to do it's got the spin wheel,
Yep.
And I'm not paying attention, and I got a bunch of mattresses that are blocking the view, and I run right into their garage door that I didn't open all the way right. I opened it enough like for the queen, but not for the king. And then, completely demolished it. And I'm sorry. And they're like, don't even talk. Go home. You're done here, Travis. We are done. And I never even got my final check, assholes.
That's what they told me. If I would have, so I didn't damage the forklift at all, but if I would have like bit the forks or something like that, they would have kicked me off the lift for the day and possibly suspended me or something.
I've never not had bitten forks where one's sitting like 3/4 of an inch higher than the other and you just have to accommodate.
Yeah. Oh. There's a couple lists at work that are like that. The forks are, you can say that. Just this one is just Actually, my first, like, in this week in this position, I went to go get one off the palletizer, and I'm watching my left because that's the one I can see. Get it in. Go to pick it up. It's fucking tilting sideways. So I'm like, what's going on here? Back out, and then it just starts pouring out.
Oh, yeah. I've dealt with every kind of busted lip in the world. Speaking of busted lips, that pig gave me everything it had, and I think I've had enough of today.
Non-apologetic
Nonsense.